Chapter 32, Analog Braking, Vehicle Stability, and Collision Avoidance Systems. Day 1, Video 3, ABS ECU. So again, going to the unique components of the analog braking system here, the ECU receives inputs from the speed sensor, sends outputs to the modulator valve. Monitors the tractor speed sensors, all of the tractor speed sensors at all times, whether we are ABS function or not, constantly monitoring those. So it takes those individual sensor readings, monitors those, and then depending on the logic built into the ECM, decides if one of those tires is about to lock up or not, and what corrective action it's going to take. So in that previous slide where we had the slide where we had the sine waves, the wheel on the top pattern is about to lock up because it's traveling at a lot slower speed, right? Fewer pulses than the lower pattern we were looking at. That one was traveling at the right speed, then it can compare that to all the other wheels on the tractor and decide that, hey, that passenger side steer axle tire brake is about to lock up. So then depending on, again, on its logic, the rate of rotation of that tire, it's going to decide what to do about it. A couple different things it can do is so it can send signals to the modulator, and it may just decide to hold, add no more pressure to that brake chamber and see if that helps it speed back up. If it doesn't do that, then it can bleed off the air pressure in that wheel so that we are no longer applying the brakes on just that passenger side steer tire to get that tire to get it back up to speed. And then lastly, what it can do is add pressure, release the pressure, that pulsing that's typically we feel from an ABS system. So again, it's constantly monitoring that. If it finds that whatever action it took is improving it or not improving that situation, its logic tells it what to do from then on. It's also, again, constantly monitoring those speed sensors, and it has a way to tell if it has a speed sensor that has failed or has excessive air gap. If that speed sensor fails, it's no longer going to see any signal from that wheel end, all right? Likewise, if that air gap, if that speed sensor moves away from the tone ring, it's going to get a lower and lower and lower voltage signal each time it passes by. So if the ECU sees that one wheel speed, the voltage signal is getting less and less and less, its logic is going to tell it that speed sensor has moved away, and I can't trust that signal I'm getting from that speed sensor. Also monitors the modulator valves for problems. If it finds a problem, if the ECU finds a problem in a speed sensor or a modulator, it can shut down that part of the system. Right? It no longer gets a good signal from the passenger side steer tire. The gap has opened up and that voltage is dropped, so it can shut down the steer axle's ABS system. It's still got good signals on the drive axles. It will still monitor those and perform ABS functions based on those speeds. And in that case, what it would do is send a fault code or fault signal to the driver, and ABS light would come on, and then diagnostic can happen after that. If we have a shutdown of the entire system, the braking system would act just as it did before, but it just wouldn't have the ABS ability because it shut the entire system down.